What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video, let's take a look at Bitcoin, and the volatility recently has been incredibly hardcore. However, to those of you who have watched my videos, I really hope that you bought some at this area right here. Now I've been saying all throughout August or September, all throughout August, right, that this area would be absolutely amazing for you to build a swing position. And to those of you who didn't chicken out and actually bought in here along with me, and just to show it to you, this is a little bit of proof that I did indeed buy in at about 40k. To those of you who bought in here, absolutely congratulations, because I really don't think that we are going to be revisiting this area like anytime soon, right? I don't think that we're just gonna like straight come down and come all the way back to this area. If anything, I would say that this area right here between 48,800 to about 47k, which I'm going to mark down right now, is going to be a key level for Bitcoin to hold in the event that it does dump, right? In fact, even before we get to that level, we have to first break through this trend line right here. If you just watch this trend line right here, in order for Bitcoin to be bearish, right, you would really need to break below, like, I don't know, 50k for Bitcoin to start to become bearish. But otherwise, like, really congratulations, man. We caught the bottom, and I really hope that you guys bought in at the bottom. Now, I know that I haven't been active much on YouTube lately because I have been focusing a lot of attention in the private Discord group and remaking the trading course, so it is a little byproduct of that. But for now, let's try to figure out what's next with Bitcoin. However, right before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the Art of Crypto, you're going to want to do so. This is where I'm sharing like stuff that I wouldn't otherwise be able to talk on YouTube, as well as any setups that I might be looking at that, you know, I simply do not have time to share on YouTube due to time constraints, because it does take quite a bit of time to make a video. So without any further ado, let's dive right into Bitcoin. So immediately, Bitcoin got rejected at this 55k 500 level, which is not too big of a surprise, honestly. And if you guys were in the private group, then like when Bitcoin was retesting this trend line, I would have been telling you to buy in. However, since you have already missed this point, then let's try to figure out what's going to be next. So as previously mentioned, this 48,800 to 47k level is going to be absolutely key. If you do get a retrace back to this level, then I would say it would be a safe area for you to start buying some Bitcoin. Ideally, the key area, right, just like how I've been talking about on August, that this right here would be the key level, and this would be the level where I would be the most comfortable building like the biggest position. Same thing is going to apply for Bitcoin right now. This area right here between 45k and about 42,500-ish, right? 45k to 42,500 is going to be the level where I would be the most comfortable building the biggest positions, right? Compared to here, right? If we do get back to this level, then it would act as some form of support, but ultimately the biggest position is going to be built between 45k and 42,500. Like if we do get it, right? There's no guarantee that we are going to be revisiting this area. At the moment, if we just go back onto the daily chart, you can see that Bitcoin has already overcame this trend line right here. If we take a look at the 4-hourly chart, you can see that it broke out of this trend line, came down to retest it, and then bam, right? At the moment, it does not seem that Bitcoin is going to be revisiting, like 100% is not going to revisit 40k, right? I really don't think that Bitcoin is going to revisit 40k anytime soon. But what about this level at 45k? Now, in order for Bitcoin to do that, it would need to overcome, right, basically like this order block right here, which is going to be a key level of support, and it is going to need to break through that order block to fill in the imbalance here and bounce from there. Now, are we going to get that? Well, I do not think so, at least not for the next week or so. In the event that you do get to any of these levels, then you know what to do, right? That's going to be areas for you to buy. But otherwise, what Bitcoin is going through right now, I do believe that Bitcoin is going to start consolidating, right? Either it's going to form a falling wedge, it's either going to form a bull flag, but either way, it is going to start consolidating. And this level right here, let me just draw it out for you guys, like that level and that level over there is going to be key levels that you are going to want to watch to get some Bitcoin. So this right here is the previous high at 53k, right? 53k. And this level right here is going to be your bullish order block. So let me just draw out this bullish order block, something like that, right? That's going to be your bullish order block. So both of these levels are the immediate levels to watch. Chances are, I do believe that Bitcoin is going to start consolidating and it's going to form a falling wedge right? Falling wedge. If you guys watch any of my videos, you know I talk a lot about markets moving in phases of expansions and consolidations, right? If it does consolidate, I do believe that it will come to either one of these two levels before ultimately bouncing. And the ultimate target for Bitcoin, I do believe, is going to be at about 59,500. Now, the reason why I believe so is because if you know anything about institutional trading, or if you've watched, or if you've been an old fan of mine, then you know I talk about order flow, right? When order flow is bullish, you always go and attack and try to violate the previous swing highs. So for example, over here, when you are bullish, this was a high that you needed to violate. Like just like over here, notice how the price swung just a tiny bit above this level right here to stop out. Like imagine if you were going short, right? Then what's going to happen is that everyone's going to set your stop loss right above this level, right? And so you go just a bit above that level, stop everybody out, and then go down and then stop out all the longs. This is something that I called in the private Discord group, like basically in real time. Like check it out. On the 3rd of October for the bears, you will want to look for a short around the 49k 200 to 50k area. This will allow you to take advantage of the liquidity hunt above the old high at 48,800, and this is exactly what you got, right? And then you stopped out the sell side liquidity over here before ultimately continuing. This is called a liquidity purge and revert, and it is something that I call in the private Discord group. So if you know these kinds of real-time market updates is something that you appreciate and want to get access to, then check out the private Discord group, because sometimes I simply do not have time to make a video, but over here it is my responsibility every day to give you guys the latest market updates, and so that you know you're able to make educated investment decisions every single day. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check the private Discord group. But otherwise, at the moment, it is going to, at least in my humble opinion, it will come down and consolidate, and doing so will allow altcoins some time to run. So if you guys noticed, like during this entire run up of Bitcoin, whenever Bitcoin goes basically like straight up, right, altcoins don't really move very well. Like, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. When Bitcoin is moving straight up, you can think of, you know, the markets, to put it very, very simply for you guys, it's that Bitcoin will suck out all the liquidity in the markets. And that means altcoins are not going to have liquidity, and that's why they're not moving much. So what do I mean by that? So Bitcoin always takes a lead, right? If Bitcoin just continues to do nothing, then altcoins will find it very hard to do anything. But in order for altcoins to really go into a very strong bull season, you really want Bitcoin to take the first move, right? Once Bitcoin starts pumping like really hard, something like this, as it's pumping, altcoins are not going to do well. But once it has finished its move and it starts consolidating or building a range, then altcoins are going to move. So for example, stuff like Compound, right? For those of you who are still in this video right now, I want you to watch Compound, because once it breaks out of this pattern, I really do believe that it has a chance to pump at least 10%, up to 20%, maybe 60%. So in order for Compound to do this, it needs Bitcoin to stop, like, you know, sucking out all the liquidity in the market. And basically you need Bitcoin to chill out and just consolidate, right? And do nothing for a while, and then altcoins are going to be able to move. So with this knowledge in mind, this is something that you're going to want to look for. Now, I know I was talking about the previous high before, actually. Yeah, I was talking about the previous highs before. So based on a similar concept, right? As long as you are bullish in terms of order flow, you will always attack previous highs. And at the moment, the reason why you attack previous highs is because you want to stop out the liquidity above these two levels. At the moment, the previous highs, that is going to be immediately where the price is going to be drawn to, is about 58k and 59,500. So if you were looking to take a short, then I would immediately look for these two levels, right? For the price to wick just a tiny bit above these two levels, and that's going to be your short right there. So if I was trying to take a short at 58k, maybe I would place my order at like 58,200 or something, right? I'm going to take advantage of the liquidity hunt, because again, this is how the markets work, right? It's the algorithms doing most of the trading, and algorithms are programmed to stop out, right? To take out stop losses, right? To take out the liquidity in the market. Remember, the market is just a whole, just like, think of the markets this way, right? It's just a whole game of targeting the liquidity above, and then targeting the liquidity below, and then targeting, like, basically the market just moves to wherever there is the most liquidity. At the moment, while it may seem like over here has the most liquidity, you have to understand that we only recently just took out most of the liquidity down below, right? Over here, you have sell side liquidity, got taken out. Over here, you got sell side liquidity, got taken out. Over here, you got sell side liquidity, taken out. Over here, you've got sell side liquidity, got taken out. So basically, like, most of the sell side liquidity has already been taken out, and at the moment, I would say the path of least resistance is going to be the liquidity above these levels, right? And does that mean I'm saying that Bitcoin is going to form a new all-time high? That is a likely scenario, because we are already in bullish order flow. So I hope that gives you an understanding of how the markets work. And if you were to dump, right? If you were to dump, then the immediate level where there would be the most liquidity is going to be like over here. You're going to have a little bit, right, at about 50k, but the most liquidity is going to be below 47k, right? If you see Bitcoin break through 50k, then expect 47k to get violated, and for the liquidity below this level to get cleared out. And what's going to happen is that Bitcoin is likely going to wick down to about 45k or 44k before ultimately reversing. That is my humble opinion. Might change in a couple of weeks time, but for now that is the plan if you were looking to buy Bitcoin. The second entry for Bitcoin, in fact, is like, honestly, I don't really have a bullish Bitcoin entry for you, right? For those of you who watch my videos, this would have been the perfect place to buy in, and I've been telling everyone, hey, buy in. And right now, have you missed the train? I think so, right? You've missed the train for an optimal entry. So in order for you to not fall into FOMO and, build a subpar position, I want you to wait for a consolidation pattern to form and then buy the breakout of that pattern. Again, these levels are going to be the key levels to watch because you always consolidate into an area of support before bouncing. That's how the markets work. If you go take a look at the markets, it's always how it works. So look out for that in order to get into a Bitcoin entry. But for now, as long as order flow is bullish, I really do think that we are at the minimum going to go to about 59,500 before ultimately reversing to take down any of the liquidity that is below here. But otherwise, if you do take out this level and you continue onwards to take out, man, like what fun times, right? Fun times. So either way, I hope that this video has been helpful to you. And if you feel like you have learned a thing or two, I want you to drop a like button down below. It is a small gesture, but it really helps me a lot. For now, these are all the key levels to watch for. And to all of you still watching this video, then this is going to be your bonus trading setup of the day. In fact, I did give you another bonus trading setup in the form of compound just now. But right now, let us take a look at balancer, right? Forget this pattern that you are getting right now and a breakout of this pattern at the moment. I want you to just visualize the market with me, right? Over here, you have your range high, and over here, you have your range low. And at the moment, you can say that this is your mid range. And at the moment, you can see that balancer is really trying hard to close above the mid range at the moment. And I do believe that if you do break this mid range, which it already has at about $22.5, and you close the daily above this mid range, I do believe that there is a chance that you are going to go and retest the previous range high, and that is going to be at about $33. So I want you to pay attention to balancer because this is a trade that could likely give you about, at the minimum, about 28% to about 50% worth of gains. And if it goes even higher, then your TPs are going to be 29, 33.8, 40, 47, and 63. Am I saying that balancer is going to get to all that, all those levels? Not necessarily, but if it does, just take your profit on the way up. But either way, balancer is something that you are definitely going to want to keep in mind. And just remember, if you want access to all the trading setups as well as all these kinds of daily market updates, just make sure you join the private Discord group. Over here, we're making money literally every single day, and let's just say that you're going to pay it, like this group is going to pay itself off really quick. As a bonus, you're going to get access as well to a trading education where I lay down everything that I've learned over the years. This is where you're going to figure out what works and discard 90% of the things that don't work. So what can I say? Join the Discord group, right? But for now, may the gains be with you, and peace.